Hey, welcome back to 25 Days to Slay in May. If you struggle with self-destructive behavior or self-sabotage and you're looking to up-level in the month of May, stay tuned because this is for you. And today I'm sharing with you 7 lies that experts and other gurus are telling you about self-sabotage, so stay tuned. Hey, I'm Angela, trauma healer and self-sabotage slayer. I help healers, solid coaches, and trauma coaches slay self-sabotage so they can feel worthy and deserving of success and happiness. Since I have you here, go ahead and like and subscribe. This just helps me build my channel and reach so many other people that might be struggling with self-sabotage. And I appreciate you so much for doing that because it really does support my channel just by liking or subscribing. So today I'm gonna give you 7 lies that are out there about self-sabotage, and I think it's important to address these because thinking that these lies are going to be how self-sabotage is slayed is hurting people, and I don't want it to hurt people. Self-sabotage is ultimately a coping mechanism, and it's a coping mechanism because you don't feel safe with what it is that you're doing and who you're becoming. And so what happens is that that's perceived as a threat, right? The things that you're doing, even if it's creating a new habit, if it has something to do with change, if it means not running back to old patterns and habits and people, like that is huge, and that's perceived as a threat. And it's perceived as a threat because sometimes chaos and toxicity and shame is more comfortable than the opposite, right? Then peace, then feeling worthy, then feeling good, then, feeling like you love yourself because it's unknown, which means that probably your whole life you have lived in chaos and toxicity and probably had narcissistic mother, parents, maybe both, or maybe they weren't around, or maybe they were neglectful, or maybe you just picked up some serious conditioning that you didn't realize that you were actually picking up until much later on in life. Whatever the case may be, I don't want you to buy into these lies, but I also want you to understand that they do play a part in developing yourself and developing, having a loving relationship. I'm not saying that they're not part of the game, but they're not going to help you slay self-sabotage. They're just not, okay? And the first one is willpower. If you have ever read the book by James Clear, Atomic Habits, you already know that willpower is the least exercised as possible in developing healthy habits. In fact, it's said that, if you are trying to eat healthier, then you want to remove the cookies, you want to remove the donuts from your house, because then that way you don't have to exercise willpower. If you don't want to exercise willpower in developing healthy habits, what on earth makes anybody think that it's going to help you slay self-sabotage, that it's a coping mechanism connected to not feeling safe? It's just not going to happen. Not at all. The second one is self-discipline. Self-discipline does not help you heal or slay self-sabotage. And it doesn't because they're not connected. When you are developing self-discipline, you are actually going to see that as a threat and sabotage your self-discipline. So something that triggers your self-sabotage is not going to also help you slay self-sabotage. I don't understand how that works at all. Especially because, again, it's perceived as a threat. So that's going to be triggered within you. So self-discipline is so important in creating freedom, in becoming who you want to be. Yes, absolutely. But it is not the answer to slaying self-sabotage. Number 3 is my favorite because in the online industry, it is spoken about everything. Okay? Your mindset is everything. Again, mindset is not going to heal or slay your self-sabotage, and it's not going to heal or slay your self-sabotage because trauma is stored in the body. And when trauma is stored in your body, your mind is just cognitively releasing the signals that the body is sending it, telling it how unsafe it is, telling it that, we need to think this way and focus on fear and do these things, because there's all this trauma and trapped emotions is stored in our body. And if that's the case, your mind is not going to be able to slay self-sabotage when your body is sending you those signals to make the sabotage to happen. Okay, we have to come into the root cause. And the root cause means that there's trauma and emotions stored in your body that is making you think that doing these things or becoming this person, up leveling is a threat. And in order to do that, it has to do with healing your trauma and unlearning your unhealthy childhood conditioning or developmental trauma. And that doesn't come with mindset. In fact, when you work on mindset first, it's like crashing your car into a brick wall over and over and over again, hoping that your mindset is going to magically shift. When the truth is that if you start with feeling safe and then focus on your energy and then mindset, it is so much easier. You do not have to battle with your mind. It is unnecessary. The fourth lie that you're being told is that you need to stop overthinking so that you'll sabotage. Overthinking is a coping mechanism. Self-sabotage is a coping mechanism. Again, just the same thing with willpower and stuff like that. That's not going to help you heal when it's the same energy. Does that make sense? It is the absolutely same energy. So how are you going to heal something with the same energy that requires you to have a higher level of energy? It doesn't work that way. Overthinking is literally caused because you are not taking the action that you need to, or you're not speaking up, or you're not expressing your emotions, okay? It is literally triggered in inaction. That's what overthinking does. Self-sabotage is triggered when you're taking action and you don't feel it's safe. Overthinking and self-sabotage are coping mechanisms. Overthinking is not going to stop you from self-sabotaging. Overthinking needs to be dealt with because you're afraid to express yourself. You're afraid to have your needs met. You're afraid to do something. And that's something on a whole nother level. Now, can overthinking, right, because you're in that state, can overthinking then cause you to create a reality that's not there that can potentially sabotage? Yes. But it's not how you heal self-sabotage to magically stop overthinking. That's not how that works at all. The fifth one is self-love, to love yourself more. I sabotaged a whole business and I loved myself the entire time. Self-love is not going to slay self-sabotage because self-love is an ongoing thing, an ongoing process. You don't just all of a sudden come up to a destination where you are magically going to love yourself the whole way through and you're not going to self-sabotage. Self-love does not prevent coping mechanisms. Okay, and that's exactly what self-sabotage is. It's a coping mechanism because there are perceived threats in what it is that you're doing and who you're becoming. So self-love is not going to get you through slaying self-sabotage, and it's not going to prevent it, and it's not going to help you overcome it. I wish that it did, because I would have never sabotaged to begin with. But the thing is that it does help you heal. It does help you have more compassion for yourself. And I am in no way saying don't love yourself. I'm just letting you know that this is the bullshit that you are being fed online and how you're going to slay self-sabotage and why you are probably still struggling with self-sabotage even though you work on loving yourself every single day, especially as a healer and a trauma coach and a soul-led coach, right? Like you probably work on loving yourself every day and still you're dealing with sabotage. And number six is self-awareness, you guys. Self-awareness is key to healing, to unlearning. It is the key to knowing when you're going to sabotage. It does not help you slay sabotage fully and completely. And it doesn't, because I know so many people that are self-aware and then do nothing with it. Okay, I know so many people, and especially if you're a healer, you are probably cognitively aware of why you do certain things, but yet don't understand why it doesn't stop just because you know that you're doing it or why you do it. It's because self-awareness is not enough to slay self-sabotage. It's just not. And the last one and the seventh one, or the seventh lie that you're being told, is worthiness. Worthiness is going to save you. Worthiness is a very powerful piece. It absolutely is. When you feel worthy and deserving, your action will create rapid results. When you feel worthy and deserving, setting boundaries happens naturally. When you feel worthy and deserving, you will put yourself out there. You will ask for the sale. You don't hesitate. You don't procrastinate. You don't do all of those things. However, it doesn't mean that you feel safe. And the truth is that if you really, truly feel safe, you also feel worthy. Does that make sense? Like, they go together. And so if you really felt worthy, you wouldn't be here to begin with. Like you just wouldn't, because you wouldn't be sabotaging in the first place, because you would feel safe. And they're totally and completely connected, and I'm learning this more and more as I'm focusing on feeling worthy and deserving every day in my life, is how connected safety and worthiness are together and how important they go together. Your goal here is safety. When you feel safe, you can step into worthiness. It's not like one or the other in these situations, even though gurus want you to believe that it is. These are the 7 lies that you are being told about self-sabotage and how to heal it. If you are struggling with self-sabotage, you are probably also struggling with doubt. So make sure that you check out that masterclass that I'm delivering next week. I'm super excited. Make sure you like and subscribe if you've made it this far. I love you for it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.